Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Pz.Kpfw and it's located on it's a tier 2 German light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Himmelsdorf and it's under the command of Dark Hussar. Now he's about to pull off a battle and receive a number of medals that I think most higher tier players would only have wet dreams about. Yep. He's about to do something which is pretty amazing. Now the Pz.Kpfw is a stopgap tank which was between the Panzer I, the first tank that the Germans produced, and the Pz.Kpfw and the Vier, which the Panzer III and Panzer IV, which were supposed to be the main battle tanks. So for a while this was the main battle tank of the German armed forces, and it's armed with a 2cm flak cannon which is capable of doing 11 hit points of damage with each shell and penetrating up to 39mm of armour. In fact, actually it was so early on that it was known as the Landwirtschaftliche Schlepper 100. It was the LAS 100. That was its original designation. And that in German actually means land tractor. Yes, so the Germans were still trying to conceal the fact that they were rearming their army with tanks when they weren't allowed to via the Versailles Treaty. Well, he's managed to get one kill already, and he's moving down the banana with the support of this light Viz 38 and another Panzer 2G with the 3cm cannon. Oh, Cruiser Mark II. Now normally you'd fear those things because they have the big gun, which is quite devastating, but this one doesn't have much in the way of hit points left. But he manages to fire one last round in to kill him, and now he's going off to the D1. Now that's a French tank with quite strong armour. You might have a bit of difficulty trying to pen that one, Dark Hussar. He pulls back, tries to penetrate. He's getting some rounds in, but not a lot. Each magazine fires 5 shells, each clip rather, and he's loaded up with mostly standard ammo, but he's also got some premium rounds. Going off to that D1 now. He's starting to get pens. One more shell should finish him off. And in fact, actually it took 2 shells, I think. Only 16 hit points and he's out the game. So he's got his 3rd kill. Now, the team overall are not doing too well because they're down by 3 tanks. And he's the only one who's actually in enemy territory, starting to deal with the tanks one by one. He locked onto that 7TP. He should have actually manually aimed ahead of him, and then he would have got more hits, I think. Now it's actually erroneous that this tank actually has the 2cm gun, because during the initial stages of the war they actually were armed with mostly machine guns, not with the 2cm autocannon, which is what they've put into the game. Now this cannon will actually penetrate most of the enemy tanks it comes up against with standard ammo, and with premium ammo it will actually punch its way through even the strongest heavy tank if you know where to hit them. So even the Hotchkisses are vulnerable to this vehicle if he can penetrate them in the rear. And there goes that 7TP. Still using nothing but standard. He actually set that guy alight, so he got an arsonist badge out of that one as well. There's still 3 tanks down on the enemy now, and there's only 4 left on his team. So he could be facing a difficult prospect if those guys keep dying off the way they are. And he's rushing to help this light Viz 38, who's up against the M1441, which is a tier 3 Italian. In fact, they're both tier 3s, but he comes to the guy's rescue a little too late, and the M14 rather gets the kill shot on his teammate, and he loads up, tries to get behind the guy, punches these rounds in. He's having trouble traversing his turret, and there you go, he gets the kill. He did the right thing. outmaneuver the guy's turret. If he's got a slow traverse, you want to get behind them so they can't turn their gun to face you. But he did take some damage from that M14. 2 shots actually did hit him, and he's lost just over 89 hit points. The enemy's capping. There's only one teammate left on his team, and that's a T116. He's down in the south, so he can't get back to reset. So Dark Hussar's going to have to go, and unfortunately his teammate, not his platoon mate, just got killed by another Panzer II. So he's the only one alive against 6 opponents. We know that other Panzer II is not down here, so there must be 5 of them nearby. The only guy in the cap though is a BT5, which is a tier 3 Soviet light. He got his first clip in, firing the rest in, gets the kill. That's his top gun. Now he's just got to find the other enemy. There's 2 Arty on that team as well. We know that there's one of the enemy was up on the hill last seen, and that guy's a T45. We know the Panzer II was seen over on the west side of the map, but he probably isn't there now, and he might be coming back to the cap. And we can also see that Dark Hussar has potentially got a high caliber already from all the damage he's done. And somebody's capping again, so he's going to have to go back. Has no choice, but at least he's getting some cap defense points, so he might be able to pick up a defender's medal if he can get enough resets. Now, who's around the corner? Who's it going to be? There's only one in the cap. There he is. It's the T45. He came down off the hill, and there's 2 there now because the Panzer spy has just turned up. And in fact, the Panzer II is coming over here, and most of his health's still intact. Okay, tracks him. Now he can just go to work on the guy. The guy's not firing, which is very odd, because he should be. And Dark Hussar's just plastering him. It looks like he's run out of ammo, or his gun's knocked out, and he's just not able to respond, and he's now out the game. So there's only 4 left on the enemy team. He's got 7 kills. There's the last remaining capper. It's the T45. Got a reset. And he did take 1 shot for 47 hit points. He's only got 46 left. He took a round in the tracks there. And takes out the T45. He managed to block the shots. The Panzer II can actually block rounds. It's decently angled. It actually can deflect rounds, even though there's only 13mm armor at the front. So you can penetrate it. You just need to know where to penetrate it. Now, there's a funny video on YouTube. If you want to look at Sophie Line's channel, she's actually tried, there's a contest for how quickly you can get in through the commander's hatch on top of the turret and come out the driver's hatch, which is just at the back. You see that open hatch at the back next to the engine? Yep, you can go in through the top there and get out through the other hatch, and Sophie did it in a record time, I think it was. Don't know how she does it, but yeah, if you look at that, she's doing the challenge on a Panzer II in America. It's quite funny to watch. Oh dear, the enemy is capping again, so Dark Hussar's going to have to go back. But which way is he going to go back this time? He thought about going through the centre, but I think he's going to have to go up the banana. Now, we don't know who it is, but it might be one of the Artys this time. He's already up to 1,926 hit points of damage so far, 206 hit points of damage blocked. Okay, he's being careful about how he approaches now, because he could get spotted the moment he poked his head round the corner, and if they were well positioned they could get a shot off into him. He's very low on hit points, so he can't afford to take much damage from the enemy. They must be just around the corner. Yep, they must be in the main street just around the corner, and it is. It's the D2, and he seems to be AFK. Now he's loading up on the premium rounds now, because he would have difficulty trying to puncture this at D1, and he's getting some of those shots through, but the problem is he can't afford to take any damage from this guy at all. So he's auto aimed on, and he's just firing away, angling as well as he can. He's getting the shots into the target, aiming for the engine bay, and he gets him! And he's loaded the AP back again, because he doesn't want to waste the APCR. They are very expensive, so it can be phenomenally expensive actually to load up one of these with nothing but APCR. I think it's about 1 million credits or something stupid. But yes, it's better to just use the AP if you can, and most of the tanks you come up against in a battle you can penetrate with standard AP. A few of them you will need the APCR for, and it's the French tanks, I'm afraid. The ones with the big armour, they're the ones you have to use the APCR for. If you don't, you're going to have a lot of difficulty trying to penetrate them, because you have to get behind them to get through the weakest armour with standard AP. Well, he's now looking for the last two enemy, which are of course their Arty. On this occasion, both of them are Vespers, which of course was built on the hull of the Pz.Kpfw, the Panzer II, and it's got a 105mm gun, I'm afraid, which is actually the same gun you'll find on the Fifi, the 105 FH-18B2. So yes, it's quite a powerful gun. He's poking his head round the corner just to see if anyone's there. Doesn't appear to be. Side scraping. I think it's a bit odd doing that. Oh, he's found one! He found both of them! Okay. I think what he's going to do is, they appear to be AFK. I think one of them's the gun's moving, but they appear not to be able to see where he is. In fact, they're just outside their view range, so they can't see him, but they know his shells are coming in. And so he's sitting here in the cap and slowly firing at them, depleting their hit points. They're not aiming at him, and I think he's waiting until the clock counts down so he can get an Invader medal. But then I think he'll try and kill this guy the moment with his last round to make sure of it. The wreck of the other Vesper is actually concealing that last one, and he's not even aiming in this direction. He must be a very inexperienced player. You see, he's gently doing it 2 shots at a time. In fact, at long range, that's advisable for this gun. You fire short bursts, and you get much more accuracy at long range. And you can see he's slowly doing them bit by bit. 5 seconds to go. He takes him out just in the last few seconds, and base is captured as he killed the last Arty, picked up a Pascucci's, and of course an Invader medal. Very well played by Dark Hazard. Let's have a look at the end of battle results, and prepare yourself, because you're going to see a number of medals that you've never seen before in one game. Oh my god, look at this! He managed to get an ace tanker in the Pz.Kpfw. He managed to get a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks, a bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 20. He got an arsonist. He set light to one of the enemy tanks and watched them burn up. He also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fire effect for doing more damage to the hit points of his own vehicle. He picked up 4 epic medals in this game and 3 battle heroes. The first of the epic medals is the Yoshio Tamada medal, and that's for picking up and killing an enemy tank or tank destroyer. An enemy tank or tank destroyer. It's an enemy SPG that was 1 tier higher than his tank. His tank was tier 2. The SPGs he took out, the Vespers, were tier 3, and he took out 2 of them. So yes, he gets the Yoshio Tamada's award. There were 6 enemies he was facing. He killed them all and ends up with the Kolobanov medal. He got a Langlade medal for killing at least 4 enemy vehicles whilst they were capping. You don't have to kill them all at the same time. You can kill them if they are capping and they cap at separate times. But it is a very good medal to get the Langlades, especially if you're in an Arty, for resetting a cap and keep resetting a cap when the enemy is capping. A Pascucci's medal for killing 2 enemy Arty. In this case, he got both Vespers. An Invader medal for killing or for capping out and getting at least 80 cap points in the process. A Defender medal for resetting the cap and getting 70 defense points in the process. And of course, he ended up with a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up with 11 kills. But you can't get a Pulse medal or a Radley Waters at below tier 5. So I'm afraid that's all he can get from killing this number of enemies. But what a game. He ended up killing the majority of the enemy team, carrying his team, and what a collection of medals to take away. That's quite a lot. Let's have a look at team score. Well, easily the highest damage in the game, 2,716 hit points of damage from this battle. No high caliber though, and I suspect that the reason for that was that when he was on the banana at the early stages of the battle, one of his teammates moved in front of him and he fired a round and it hit that vehicle. And you saw the little green marks appear on his vehicle at that moment, and that's what disqualified him from getting a high caliber. Yes, if you shoot your own teammates, you end up losing a medal. And on this occasion, it wasn't Dark Hussar's fault because the guy actually moved in front of Dark Hussar as he was firing. But unfortunately, down to that guy, he's lost the medal because of it. So rather sad, but true. The next highest damage in the game was actually done by the BT-7 artillery on the enemy team with 1,229 hit points, and they had a Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausführung E. He managed to get 1,178 hit points of damage from that battle. When it came to kills, obviously he had the highest number with 11. The next highest scorers were the BT-7 Art, who had less than half that score, and also the BT-5. They both had 4 kills each. 2 kills to the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausführung E, and also the T-29 on his own team. And when it came to base XP, yes, 1,192 base for Dark Hussar. The next high scorer being the BT-7 Art on the enemy team with 649, and after that the T-29 on his own team with 533. He fired 464 rounds of ammunition in that game, a huge amount of ammo. He got 336 direct hits, only 252 of those actually penetrated the enemy, but most of those rounds were the standard AP. He also did damage of 2,716 hit points, and all of that was at close range. Received 22 hits from the enemy, 8 of them penetrated, 14 non-penetrations, and block damage of 246 hit points. So considering the amount of damage he actually took and the amount of damage he blocked, yes, he really did suffer a lot of damage during the game, but it wasn't enough for him to get a steel wall. Yes, it wasn't over 1,000 hit points of damage in total. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 11 of the enemy, and he got 100 capture points and 100 defense points. Yes, so he reset the cap enough times to get his defender and some more on top. And yes, he capped out to win in the game, but he made sure that he killed the Vesper right at the last moment, just in time so he could get all the kills and the Pascuccis and the Invaders. He received 25,087 credits from the battle, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 19,593 credits. He received 1,192 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 3,576 experience points from personal missions payout, and took away 7,152 experience points altogether. So I doubt you're going to see a battle where you get as many medals as this, but I suppose there will be a few. And it's just sad that he didn't get another Battle Hero medal. The high caliber would have been very nice. It was certainly well deserved, but unfortunately I'm afraid at this tier you often get idiots who drive in front of you while you're shooting and they accidentally take away a medal from you because you fire and you accidentally hit them. And thankfully now that team damage is out of the game, you don't actually damage them, but what you do is you lose that medal, and that can be important overall, especially if you're looking for the extra benefits you get for courageous resistance if you lose the game. But yeah, great game by Dark Hussar, congratulations, that's quite a haul of medals. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. We're only a small channel. We don't have that many subscribers, but we do put out a lot of content, as you've probably noticed. Yes, just recently we had a bit of a hiccup because we've stopped using our old recording method, started using a new one, and we're having a lot more success with that recording method. So I think that's what we'll be doing from now on, to get stutter-free video recording. And we do put out a lot of content. If you do have a really good replay, maybe like this one, or maybe another one that you've actually done where you've excelled yourself and you're really pleased with what you did, send it in to us and we'll have a look, and maybe we'll be putting it up on YouTube and you'll get your moment of fame. Thanks for watching.